Young Progressives Party's governorship candidate in Kogi State, Sam Omale, is asking politicians and their followers to play the game by its rules and not heat up the state ahead of the state governorship elections coming up in November. Omale, at a media briefing in Abuja, asked the people not to be pressured by ethnic or religious considerations in determining who to vote for, but to consider proven track records of candidates. It promises to ensure security, infrastructural development, job creation, and transparent government.
Settle your individual differences. Don't bring it to the public. And the public should also not be carried along. I don't want to be enemy of your enemy, because I don't know. I mean, what people are doing is to make their enemies of the people that are following them. The people following these people should not be sheepishly committing their lives to them. The state has been plagued by poor governance and rampant corruption over the years, with its short-term consequences on our development. For all Kogi people, this shouldn't be our case. We are better than this. Kogi State ought to be far from where it is right now. It is in recognition of this significant void between our abundant human resources and the realities that I have chosen to present myself to run for the governorship position in 2023. Our administration shall pursue a robust transport, energy, and environmental infrastructure to drive across all parts of the state. A world-class infrastructure drive is critical to Kogi State's economic growth, security, and improved quality of life.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission is expressing concern over the possibility of political violence ahead of the off-cycle elections in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo states. The commission said although the campaign had just started, there are signs of political clashes amongst opposing political parties and candidates. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, disclosed this at a post-election review with Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. He, however, called on security agencies to be neutral and deal decisively with perpetrators of this crime and other undemocratic offenses.
Aware, election is a multi-stakeholder activity. Although INEC drives the process, a secure environment for the conduct of peaceful election is the responsibility of the security agencies working in partnership with the Commission. Already there are ominous signs in the form of violent clashes between opposing political parties and candidates. While maintaining strict neutrality, security agencies should be decisive in taking action against purveyors of violence and other undemocratic activities such as vote buying, attacks on election officials, and disruption of the electoral process.
Now that we have few elections ahead of us, the by-elections, the intention is to get ready and with the support of the government, make sure that it's going to be exemplary elections that will signal what is going to come henceforth in Nigeria.
All right, joining us now is the governorship candidate of the Young Progressives Party in Kogi State, Sam Omale. Sam Omale is also a visiting lecturer to Bayero University. Am I right?
In New York, yeah.
In New York.
And several other ones.
Absolutely. Nice having you.
Thank
you. They say intellectuals like you have been, a deficit in the leadership process in this country.
Good.
And Young People's Party.
Progressives.
Yeah.
Progressives.
Young Progressives Party.
Yes.
And you are not so young.
Yeah, I'm not. But it depends on how you look at it.
You're taking the mantle from the youth.
Yes.
You heard what Ugochinyere said.
We have to build them up. We have to build the youth up. Because the youth have not learned any good things. We have states that have the youngest governors, but see what's happening.
Your state.
Well, I don't.
No, but that's. That's
a fact.
No, it's a fact. So, do you want to hide the fact?
No. Well,
I mean, some people will attest to his various achievements Is it because you're canvassing for political office that you're, putting his own party and his own achievements down?
No. I don't want to talk about whatever is happening. I want to talk about what I have.
Yeah, what are you going to build on, for example? You can't...
Yes, I've come for repairs. I'm coming to repair. Because honestly...
So he's done a lot of damage.
Not he. It's a 32-year program. It's not just he. Kogi State has been 32 years in existence. And this is what we have. So it's a collective failure of previous administrations.
It won't, some people will not agree that the late Audu Abubakar was a failure because most of the infrastructural development and what you have on ground, Kogi State University et al., were the product of late Audu Abubakar. So why would you say it's a 32 years failure?
Well, okay, a 32-year-old person, grown-up person, should not be crawling, should not be in diapers. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be specific on which regime contributes something to anything. What is important now is not to play the blame game. What do you have on the table?
What are those deficits that you want to correct, for example?
The deficits, the deficit is this. Okay, if you know that Kogi State is actually one of the most endowed states in this country.
In terms of mineral resources.
Mineral resources, over 35 solid minerals, including oil now. Kogi State is...
all owned by the federal government.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But also surrounded by 10 states, which are an asset by itself. Kogi State is the heart of Nigeria. That is, and has traversed by River Benue and River Niger, where the confluence is formed. The topography, the agricultural land, and the energetic people of Kogi State. Kogi State has 65% of literacy, which makes it one of the highest in the country. And yet, what we're seeing is that these abundant resources and people, they don't match up with where we are. So the point is, how do we build from here? Where do we go from here? What can we do? And that's what, in fact, it's this deficit that brought me into the race.
Well, 65% literacy level, so education may not be so much of a priority. Education for you, for example, is to just continue. Or
to bring quality education. It's not just being graduates. You see, the problem in Nigeria in African education is school of remembrance. The quality of education is not there. Education that builds skills. Education that makes you to be an entrepreneur. Education that makes you to solve problems. That's not the kind of education we are giving here. But in Kogi State, when we come into power, the kind of education that we'll be getting in collaboration with foreign universities that are going to be established will be quality education that translates all the skills that people have, skills that will make them to be productive, skills that make them to be entrepreneurs, skills that make them to know how to solve problems, not having engineers that cannot fix anything. That's the kind of thing. We're going to change a lot of changes in the educational curriculum.
Okay, let us look at how you're going to drive the IGR of an agrarian society that is Kogi. You don't have, that much access to the mineral resources there because everything, constitutionally captured would say belongs to the federal government and the rest. Alaja is not, I say Alaja. Itakpe and the Ajakuta steel companies, they are not working. That's supposed to be generating a lot of IGR for you. What new ingenuity are you really going to bring to the fore?
It's very interesting that people go to IGR. But IGR is a byproduct of productivity, of industry, of business. So the first thing you want to do is how do you generate this business? How do you create this enabling environment that businesses can thrive and that the environment can attract foreign direct investors and local investors? It's when they come in and establish their businesses. Like you just described Kogi State as agrarian. That is just one aspect of the economy. That agri is just one aspect of about 5 that we intend to bring. Mining, for example, industrialization, and tourism, for example. Marine economy, 5 of them under economic growth plan. Each one of them can wipe out unemployment in that
But
state.
why is it that if we talk about industrialization,
yes.
Most Nigerians are looking at gargantuan industries and not the cottage industry.
Yeah,
Go to
exactly.
Karachi
Yeah,
in Pakistan
yeah.
and you find a 3-man, 4-man
Portable,
shoemaking
yeah,
industry,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they supply their shoes
Yeah.
to the
We
world.
don't-
Why are we not thinking?
Yeah,
are you
the-
thinking
no, no,
of
yeah, that's
replicating that
that's
kind
exactly the kind of small-scale industrialization is what we're talking about, not this. We are actually living in the fourth industrial revolution, and all this gigantic stuff don't work anymore. It's like you said, small, portable, your backyard kind of industries that you begin to produce. The ripe mango that are wasted in Kogi State, the oranges that are wasted, thrown away, you can have a juicer in your room and begin to juice these things, package them, sell them to hotels. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. But to do that, you need energy. And thank God they have taken energy from the national, as an exclusive.
Legislative list now.
So energy is one of our major core focus areas to generate electricity that will attract industrialization into the place. So that's core to us.
Okay, Sam, let's look at the issue of social development. You want to look at health, even generally in the country.
Yeah.
It's at an abysmal level. Doctors are on strike right now, resident doctors, for a recurring phenomenon of poor service conditions, poor wages, and the rest. How are you going to tackle the issue of wages too in your state where we hear that they are not even getting the minimum wage?
Okay, maybe I should start from the wages, because what we have in our plan is a reform of the civil service structure itself. And the reform is that every ministry, every parastatal, every government institution is going to be turned into what we call strategic business units. We are going to develop business plans for each of these ministries on how to generate income, on how to make your services sellable. You'll be producing services or products to the public. And then the workers are not just civil servants coming to push files, but you're actually coming to work to make use of your brain. And
so you'll be fanning out a lot of these services.
Yes.
Government services.
No,
you'll be fanning them out?
No. I'll be activating them. Take any ministry. Just give me any ministry. I'll tell you how it will make money. I'll tell you how the business planning will be done. No, we won't fund them. They are specifically created for services, but they don't know the services because nobody has defined it. Nobody has defined that. Minister of Transportation, this is your business model. It's not clear to anybody. Minister of Sports, this is your business model. What is the business model of Minister of Sports, for example? Nobody knows. Well, can you make money from it? Yes. Through age grade football, from age 3 to 17, building of small fields, and creating jobs for coaches. Parents drop their children on Saturdays, Sundays, pay little amount. Coaches are paid. So there's money to be made. Arranging for intercollegial sports. There's so much money in sports, branding, and advertisement that come into sports. Nobody is doing that. If you go to transport, Minister of Transport, for example, we intend, for example, to establish what we call rest. You're going to the US, you're going to have, if you drive along, you see rest places between town. Now, rest places are places that people have driven for 10 kilometers, 150. They branch in, they have refreshment, they go on shopping. Children love that kind of places. And there's shopping, there's all kinds of excitement going on at rest places.
And with the level of insecurity in Kogi State, what security architecture are you going to bring to
great.
address
In fact, okay, your question is, okay, how we've streamlined our project is this. Okay, maybe if I follow the way we have arranged what we're going to do. Number one on our list is security. Number one. On our 5 plan we intend to do for Kogi State, number one is security, because, Christian, you can't move above your environment. Your environment limits whatever you can do. So securing of our environment is that people, because the primary role of government is the security of lives and property. And what we intend to do, we intend to do through a surveillance. Surveillance means we have CCTVs across the state. We're going to have a situation room where in front of your screen you can see all the hotspots. The idea is that it will prevent criminality. It will first of all identify, prevent, and in the case of occurrence, intervention, immediate intervention in the mode of 911 call, where in collaboration with federal and state security agencies, they're able to do that. Also through local network and all that. So security number one. Once that security is done, then business will thrive. Night economy can come.
All right, thanks so very much. Sam Omale is the governorship candidate of Young Progressives Party in Kogi State. Yes. Nice having you.
Thank you, Christian.